Hello, everyone. How are you today? I hope you're good. I'm doing well, thank you. Um, I'm here again to talk about my messages from God, the angels, and Jesus. Um, like I said, I in previous uh, videos, I started receiving messages from the angels and Jesus before I even was old enough to totally realize what it was all about. So for me, it was completely normal to have these messages. I never realized that I was special or different until I was probably sixth, seventh grade. Um, and I mentioned my messages and um, angel friends to people, to other kids in my class, people in the community. And they informed me that people don't talk to angels, people don't talk to Jesus, people don't talk to God unless it's just through prayer. And God, the angels, and Jesus never answer. So either I was crazy or I was a liar. Well, I was neither. I was definitely receiving these messages. Of course, there have been some too that tell me that I can't be sure that these messages are from the source that I believe they're from. But I have been receiving these messages for I said I'm 62. Um, I'll be 63 this year. So probably 60 years. And they've never changed. They've remained the same. The voices have been the same. The messages have been the same. Um, they've always been there for me. And I learned that these things are very true. Um, people can doubt all they want to, but I'm very happy to report that we spiritualists who have been speaking with God, angels, and Jesus have some proof now. Um, the physicists, especially the quantum physicists, are proving what we've been told all along and what we've been sharing um, about the reincarnation, about us planning out our lives before we are born, about us, if we wanted to, we could be stillborn or miscarried. That's our choice. We do not have to come here. Um, and we would just go back to source at that point. Um, and suicide, another thing that, you know, religions have been so strict about. Uh, Suicide doesn't mean that you're going to go to hell. Suicide just means that you haven't finished the experience that you came here to Earth to experience. You didn't finish your lesson. Um, and because of that, you will have to come back and you will have to finish that lesson eventually, probably with a different family in a different time. But, you know, each of us, our souls, have contracts that we create. and we are very intelligent. um, there again, the physicists have proven the Big Bang Theory, and the spiritualists believed and still believe that the source, God, broke into many, many, many pieces by choice, creating all of our souls. And through this, um, all of us have our individual souls, which means all of us are a piece of God. We're all created by Him, from Him. Um, and as a whole, we come here to Earth to experience and to learn and to face our fears and to um, learn. My biggest lesson um, wasn't actually, I don't know if I could say it wasn't a fear, um, but I had to go through the abuse um, as a child and as a young adult. I married an alcoholic narcissist. My family home when I was growing up, um, there was mental illness there. Um, and I didn't really have any friends. Um, I was very much a loner, and I had to learn to trust myself. I had to learn to stand up on my own and not be so needy and dependent on others. Um, I needed to learn that I can't help others, really. I can't control others. Even my daughter, that's how my karma was broken, was she was living with us for quite a while. And one day she came out and was verbally abusive to me. And she had been abusive to me off and on her whole life. Physically, mentally, emotionally abusive to me. Um, but this day, I believe she was about 35, which would have made me about 45, or 50, 35, 55. I was 45. No, it would have made me about 55. And she came out of her bedroom and down the hallway, and I was sitting there in the living room when she came in. She leaned against the chair and just started being very condescending to me and mouthy to me and attacking me about how I was mean to her and I was condescending to her, and um, that, I was just a horrible person. And I finally just had enough. And I told her that if she didn't stop, she would have to go out on her own. I wasn't going to be abused any longer. Enough was enough. She's an adult, and this is my home where I'm at peace and I'm comfortable, and I have no other place to go. Um, so if she can't treat me with love and respect and kindness in my home, then she would have to go out and find another home. Of course, it didn't go very well. And she became much more mouthy and abusive to me. Um, So within about 15 minutes, I was giving her a 5-day notice and letting her know that she could no longer stay here, um, that she didn't respect me. She hadn't respected me for a very long time. And I don't know that she ever respected me. Um, but I had to stand up for myself. I had to put my foot down. Ouch. um, and I did. The day my karma broke was the day that she was moving out. And when she came here to get her things, I went and sat in my bedroom on my bed and I just said to God, you know, give me the strength to let her go. Give me the strength to not interfere with her leaving. Give me the strength to stick to my decision and not allow her or anyone else to disrespect me in that way or treat me badly any longer. Um, I have had enough, and it's time for me to stand up for myself and believe in myself and put myself first. Plus, not only was it bad for me, but it certainly wasn't helping her to behave that way. So I just was committed to letting her go, no matter what. And that was when my karma broke. That was when I had passed my lesson. And I didn't know up until that point that that was the lesson I was here to learn. But it was. And I think a lot of us have that lesson that we need to learn, um, to refuse to be treated badly, uh, to demand to be respected. And if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all to me. Um, and that's okay. We need to put our foot down and teach people how to treat us. And I knew that for a very, very long time. And I did that with just about everyone else. But I really had problems doing that with my daughter because she had disabilities and major mental problems. And I just thought that I was doing the right thing by tolerating it and allowing it, but I wasn't. um, so I hope any of you who are being mistreated like that can sit down and really think about it and maybe, you know, set some boundaries and make those decisions that it's just not the right way for people to treat you. And it just might be your karma. That's another subject, karma. A lot of people don't understand karma. Um, Karma can be created here during the time that we're here, or like with me, the karma could have been created in another lifetime, at another time and place, and just carried here that this soul needed to deal with it and to learn that lesson, um, and to value myself. Um, so my karma was from a long time ago, and I had carried it for at least one lifetime and possibly more. Just never able to put my foot down and demand that I be treated with love and respect. So I am grateful that the angels and Jesus and God finally got through to me that that was my karma that I needed to deal with. And I did. Um, what were some other things? Oh boy, there is so much. Um, I'm hoping to do uh, at least 2 of these videos each week, um, covering different subjects. Um, like I said, the karma and the reincarnation. Um, some people believe that in reincarnation that human souls can only be incarnated into human souls, but there is more and more um, proof and information coming through to us that that isn't that's not true. It's not true at all. Um, that there are some souls, in fact, most souls, try their hand at a little bit of everything. There's a good chance you could have been a rock at one time, um, or a tree, or a cat. Um, that our souls come here for lessons, and our souls are incarnated into whatever can teach us that lesson. Um, and we and our guides, our family, our groups, decide what lessons each of us need to work on and how we can assist each other in doing that. Um, in fact, here's another subject that some people have gotten very, very angry with me over and have actually unfriended me and not want to talk to me any longer because they thought I was being audacious. That I thought I was better than everybody else because I would think such a thing. And it's like, this isn't what I thought. This is what I was told. Um, the angels and Jesus have told me that when we are creating our life plan before we come here on earth, we make contracts with other souls. And those other souls sign up for different parts in our lives. And like my mother, my parents, being abusive to me, I knew before I came here that they were going to do that. And they knew that they were signing up to do that. Now, once we get here, the veil comes down and we don't remember. So people don't always understand why they act the way they act. And when they are so abusive, they hate themselves for acting that way. But they signed a contract that they were going to do that. So we could learn our lessons. They came here to help us to have those experiences. For the longest time, I was angry with my parents for treating me the way they did. I was angry with the classmates who treated me very poorly. I was then angry with my husbands and with my daughter and with everybody who was nasty to me. Um, but after my karma cleared, I was given this new information about um, planning everything and knowing everything before we came here and signing these contracts um, and agreeing that I wanted these people to play these roles in my life so I could learn these lessons. And really, that's quite a sacrifice from them to me to help me to learn this. Now, that's not saying that they also were not sent to learn lessons from this lifetime. They may have been here to learn lessons, um, or it could have just been that they were here to help me learn lessons. That I am not sure. Um, but I see things much differently now. When I was much younger, I used to say that the way the angels and God and Jesus talked and thought was really odd, and it was hard for me to understand. Um, excuse me, to understand their thought processes and um, why they would say certain things to me that they would say. And like death, they looked at death as just another step in our evolution, in in us moving on as souls. Where I was raised to look at death as something horrible, losing your loved one and never being able to see them again. And oh my goodness, um, but they have really helped me to see that isn't the case, that our loved ones are very, very close all the time. And we can be in contact anytime we want to be in contact with our loved ones. Um, so, as like I say, as I got older and started realizing the truth, the reality, um, it made sense why God, the angels, and Jesus saw things the way they did. And now I'm a real oddball because I see things differently. A lot of people find it hard to believe that I've lost both of my children. First, my son died in 1990, and he was 10 years old, and my daughter died in 2018, and she was 37 years old. I don't have any other children, and due to miscarriages and stillbirth, um, I have lost 6 children. That's a lot of kids to lose. But I know that those children are close by and that we will be together again, and it's okay. So I And as I said in the last video, I was given an option to go to Source once my karma was broken. Um, I could die here on Earth and go to Source and be with my children again. But I was also given the option to stay here and go through um, the changes that are happening right now here on Earth, pushing us into the fifth dimension. And that's another long conversation we'll have one day. Um, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. And we'll see you later. Love and blessings to you. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.